One job. Welcome. Beyond the Shadows podcast, presented by Haunted Souls Paranormal. I'm Dan.
I'm Maddie.
It is February 21st, season 2, episode 17. 17 already?
17 already.
That's crazy.
I know.
17 episodes. Welcome to the last podcast in this tiny office.
Imagine if it just cut out right there. Welcome to the last podcast.
Yeah. Yes, welcome. This will be the last time you'll see us.
He's like, I'm gonna miss it. I'm like, I'm not. It's gonna be so nice to be able to have our own space, and this is the last time you get to be so close to me.
Yeah, I can start throwing stuff across the room.
Okay, we're not. He's just gonna start throwing stuff. It's gonna get pelted in the head.
Yep. So weather hot.
Oh my gosh, it's
hot.
Oh,
it's like muggy hot. I've been out all day today.
I got out. So Papa's car, it's leather seats, and we got out to go get the car washed, and it was awful. It's supposed to rain tonight, so it's been muggy and thick and
cicadas.
I don't even want to talk about the cicadas. It hit, so Mom finally got her car. It was all nice and clean. And we're on our way home. I was like, a cicada hits the
I'm gonna tell you right now. I was driving today, and when they hit, they sound like they hit like a rock. Like if they hit like the side of the Jeep, it would sound like a rock was hitting the Jeep. And I was like, what is going on?
You're not gonna be able to put your doors off because if you put your foot out, it's gonna hit your foot.
Well, yeah, not until at least July because I think they're only here till July.
Who knows? They're gonna probably be till August. It just keeps
going loud.
Back.
But they weren't in Illinois. Did you see them?
Understand.
Did you hear them last night when you had league?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That was weird because we didn't have none hit the window and stuff. But
yeah,
we will talk about our adventure this weekend after our guest.
Yes.
So please stay along and listen to the lovely adventure of this weekend in Nashville. It was I said, go on, let's go to Nashville. It'll be fun.
They said. I said it'd be fun. They said.
Yeah, they said it was going to be fun.
Oh man, I've never been to Nashville.
Oh my god,
I'm 0 for 1 in Nashville.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if Nashville's like that, I'm never going back to Nashville. I'll tell you that right
now. This week we have Aunt Kathy. She said, "Hey y'all."
What's up,
hey.
Kathy?
Lauren. She said, "Happy Tuesday, everyone." Lauren, what's up?
Oh, speaking of Lauren and Gina. We're supporting.
We got some Witches Familiar shirts. Speaking of Gina, she said waves. She said Gina's on here. She said waves. Lauren said, "Oh my gosh, Gina, you're so early." I know Gina's not usually here that early. Brandon said, "Hi, souls." Hello.
What's going on, Brandon?
Susan said, "Hey, everyone."
I bet you she didn't measure that shelf.
Gina said, "Love the shirts." Thank you for the shirts.
Thank you for the shirts.
Yeah.
See, you send me a shirt, we wear it for you.
Yeah. Hey, I know those shirts. Yep. Aunt Amelita said hello. Hello. Lauren said, I got dive bombed on my way to my car after work today. It was awful. Hey.
I'll tell you the funniest thing in the world. Those when we were at the Galactica this weekend.
Oh man.
And people were walking in with cicadas on them because
no one said anything.
And no one said them to them. And all of a sudden you hear, "Oh my god!" It's just how a random person be screaming because they found out they had a cicada.
Oh man, they're ruthless. I had one on. We'll get into that. I had one on my leg on the car. Jeannie said, "Hey,
you never called me back, lady."
but yeah, that's it for so far. People are going to be filing in. But
stay tuned. We'll talk about Nashville and everything afterwards.
Yeah.
So with that,
we'll bring on our guest for this week. Yeah. Hello.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming.
So do you want to introduce yourself and what you've done and everything?
Well, my name is Jeri Beavers. I'm from Central Oklahoma. You know, all the tornadoes. 'Tis the season.
Tornado Alley.
Yes. Literally my backyard is where the path of the last really, really big one. We're not going to talk about that because now it's moved on. That's what we're going to go with. Yeah. I have been a paranormal investigator going on 8 years now. And I've had my own team 4. We do a little bit of everything. We do private investigations, public investigations. A lot of our public investigations are for to raise funds for our haunted venues. We're really big on. I just lost my brain. Um, every day, it was hot today at work. So my brain, what little brain I had was fried. Historical preservation. And I've made some really good friends with along the way. And we also do services of need and that sort of thing. And once in a blue moon, you can catch me over in Spirit Realm and doing some live stream investigations, interactive, where you can talk to us and play along in the investigation.
Nice.
And
thank you for also giving back to the paranormal community and the history community and all that, because not a lot of people do that. So thank you for being part of that.
I mean, because if we don't do it, then they're going to go away.
Exactly.
So we don't have any place to share the history.
Exactly. So what kind of got you into all of this?
Well, how I got into the investigation part, I honestly had empty nest syndrome, and a friend of a friend of a friend said, "Hey, there's one of my friends of a friend that has some openings on a paranormal team. You should go check that out." And I'm like going, "What's the worst that could happen, right?" Yeah, what's the worst that can happen?
Spend a lot of money.
Just 8 years later.
8 years later, here I am.
Thousands of dollars later, and 8 years later, yeah. Hey.
Traveled, in dark places.
Sleepless nights later.
Yeah.
Yes. Places without electricity, or this is where I spend my vacation. People are on beaches. Here I am in an abandoned building.
It's fun, they say.
That's right.
Again.
It's October in Oklahoma. It's going to be fine.
Yeah,
it'll be fine. It's not going to be 97 degrees out there.
Yeah, no.
But before that, when I was growing up, I'm kind of old, I think. Well, oldish. We didn't have internet. Our libraries were not really forthcoming with the things of the paranormal, that sort of stuff. And so you didn't really know, because nobody really talked about what you saw that may not everybody be seeing. Mm-hmm. So in my family, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
And so I just thought that seeing the little people in the woods, or the little girl in the really old clothing walking across the street, was normal for everybody, because I see it and nobody's like going, "Oh, okay, there she is, fine, that's whatever."
Yeah.
But again, empty nest syndrome, I'm like, oh wow, there really is something to this. And that brought along, helped me with my gifts. And I'm like, okay, so there are other people who see these things and can experience these things, and they can corroborate what I'm seeing, feeling, and hearing, and that sort of stuff. So you don't feel like you're crazy all the time.
Yeah,
you are, but just for other reasons, not that. So.
In this world, it's cool to be weird and crazy.
Yes. If you're normal, like, you're boring,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We were actually talking
somebody's got to be normal, right?
Yeah, we were talking about that this weekend with the lady. We walked by her booth, and she was like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh, you got weird or strange," and I didn't know how to. I didn't want to offend her by saying. We think
weird. When we say weird, it's cool to us.
It's like the best stuff, right?
Yeah. And I didn't want to be like, "Oh, your stuff is weird." Oh, and I kind of stopped myself.
And she's like, "No, it's weird. Thank you. I appreciate it. I take that as a compliment."
Like, okay.
I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Okay. I didn't know what to call it. She had like dolls.
It's weird like this, not weird like this. Yeah.
She had dolls that they like took like little raccoon or
skulls and made it like
tiny.
Yeah.
And they put like
it was weird and
dolls
cool.
On like Barbie dolls and stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it was very weird.
So when we were like weird, we were like, do we say weird? Because people might think it's a bad thing, or
so we were like, oh, we like it.
But when you're with like-minded people, they understand. So.
Yes.
Yeah, so much. So you stole my question.
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So you say that you guys do live. So what's the network? The Spirit Realm network like? What's that?
Spirit Realm is pretty awesome. Pretty much free reign with a few exceptions that they put on us. Try not to swear every other word and keep your shirt on. So what we do, we go out and we do live investigations, and we do like here where you have the chat where they can say, okay, because we know that something that with EVPs, even through a microphone or through live TV streaming, that sort of thing, they may be able to hear something that we don't as we're sitting there live.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they may see something where we're having a conversation or focusing on something in the room, and somebody sees something behind us and they're like, okay, well, we need to go back and check on that.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy that, because that gives people the opportunity who might be a little leery of going and doing it in person to doing it and feel safe and comfortable and from their pajamas in the comfort of their own home, right?
Yeah.
And we want to teach them the proper way to do it. We don't want to do provoking. We don't, because these locations, they have to live with whatever we stir up.
Yeah.
We wouldn't want to go to somebody's house and make their husband mad and then leave and go, see you later.
Yeah.
But on purpose anyway,
Well, and that's the funny thing, is that we tell people all the time too, like when they start investigating, they're like, well, this is very slow. The same thing is like, what would you do if you walked out in your living room and there was 12 people standing in your living room,
right,
that you didn't know? You're not going to be like, hey, what's going on? I'm so-and-so.
Yeah.
I mean, like Greg would, but
Yeah.
Greg, he's very,
I would, but
he's not a stranger, but not a person is a stranger to him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, and too, is like we've talked about it, is like a lot of times these people, if they're not getting anything, they'll provoke it to get something.
Right.
So when you do it respectfully, like us, like you, it takes a little bit of a process to not get that immediate reaction.
Right.
Yeah, like I don't know if y'all saw it today, but apparently the sanitarium in Arkansas has closed its doors to paranormal people, because apparently something happened this weekend with a YouTubers. They did something, so I don't know if they were provoking something on their lot or what they were doing, but the Arkansas
I hate that,
Sanitarium
because I love that place. That is never, I've never had a dull moment.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's done.
slow, but there's always been something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said there are no more ghost hunts in there whatsoever.
I hate that.
So I don't know what they did. Someone was trying to get everybody to call them out, because someone knows who it is, but they were like, call them out, tell them who they are, so everybody can be, mad at them or whatever. But
Well, I mean, they know who they are, and
Yep.
So that people are going to start to, if they put their video out, and people are going to go, oh, they were the last ones there.
Right. Well, they should be banned from all of them.
Yeah.
They should be banned. They should be a ban from all the places.
Right.
Teach people that they can't be like that.
Right.
Because people will do the weirdest thing to get likes and stuff like that. So, what is your most favorite location?
Oh. In the state of Oklahoma? Okay.
No, just anywhere. No, just
anywhere. Your favorite. Yeah.
What's your
go-to place?
My go-to place, the one I've gone to the most, and I've always had a great experience. And I don't, and my Oklahoma locations, they know I love them so much, and I would die on the hill for them to help people come in, right?
You would die and haunt that place.
I totally would die and haunt that place for them. Get some money in that door. But I really enjoy the Old Park Hotel in Ballinger, Texas.
Oh,
nice.
Have you guys been there?
No.
We should do a thing.
There you go.
It is part of the history is what's his name? Bill the Killer Miller actually shot a sheriff out in front of the hotel.
Oh, wow.
And he is rumored to haunt the location. There are, I think the last count, there were 25 confirmed entities.
Wow.
Whoa.
So, and I think I've met a lot of them.
For a hotel, that's a lot.
Yes.
It's a lot. This building is like an original house that had an add-on and an add-on. So it's really big. You can stay the night there. It's really fairly easy on the pocketbook. Not the Ritz by any means, but it is clean, and they have air conditioning and heat in the winter, and so that's a plus, right?
Hey, as a paranormal investigator, that's all you ask.
Yeah. Right. I'm like, oh no, the
AC
sheets clean.
That's all you ask.
I ain't worried about the sheets being clean.
No.
Right.
AC and heat. There you go.
And they've got some new beds too, so it's really it's nice.
That's just a plus.
That is a plus, right?
I hate it. I'll be cold, but sitting there while the sweat rolls down my back, it's in my crack. I'm like, are you investigating?
Right. Right.
No,
No.
I'm just
You
like,
can put more clothes on, right? You know?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can get plenty warm. Little
Well,
hot hands and everything.
Yes.
With the
yes.
heat.
But that building has a lot of history, and we've always had really good luck there. And I took one of my friends the last time that we went last month, and she goes, "I want to stay in one of the haunted rooms." I'm like, "You don't understand. They're all haunted. It'll be fine. It'll be fine."
It's just
So
that room. Nope, they're
just
all.
they're all haunted. It's fine.
Yeah.
But like there's one room that's like the furthest away from everybody else, and I stayed in that room by myself time before last. And the old man noises, like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And I'm down
Yeah.
this hall by myself, and the closest room is probably 20 feet away. And it was an all girls trip, so there was no guys there at all. And I keep hearing this man like the whole night long, and I'm like at like 4 o'clock, I'm like, dude, you got to knock it off. I got a 6-hour drive home. Okay.
Either
Like-
hawk up the loogie or what?
Right. Right.
Get some water.
So
God.
I told the owner, Connie, and she was like, "Well, does it sound like this?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's exactly." And they've caught the same noises on their cams.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm like, "So yeah, it's not just the building. There is somebody hanging out there." So
That's when you yell down
that's
the hallway,
like-
go, cough it up.
Yeah, cough it up. Get an action or something.
right, but
And you don't
there's-
feel, you kind of feel bad, but you don't really feel bad because it's no one that's going to come back at you.
Right.
What do you mean?
right. Eh. So, but yeah, I love that place. I don't think I have a bad place that I've been to because they all have an experience, right?
Yeah.
I've had an experience, whether it was while I was there or listening to EVPs, rolling back, footage, that kind of stuff. And that's what people don't get is you could be sitting in a dark room for 10 hours and you think well, it's not gonna be dark for 10 hours, but sitting in a room for a long time and think, man, we're just not getting nothing, not a thing. And then you go home, you listen to EVPs, you look at the footage, you're like, they were sitting there talking to us the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
we've experienced that too with the whole 7 thing.
Yeah.
That we didn't know that we got something, and someone said, "Oh, I heard something." We're like,
What
we
do you
didn't hear
mean?
nothing.
Yeah.
And
We're just
going
walking
back and
around.
watching the video, we heard what that person heard, but we never heard it at
Yeah.
that moment.
Right. And I love those. Those are like
Yeah.
surprises.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like when we said it, I was like, ah! I'm like, that was it. I'm like, that's exactly what we didn't hear.
Because like that person said, "Did you hear somebody say 7?" We're all like, no.
Yeah, I was like, look at him like he's weird. Like, no, we're hearing things, man. So what's the buildings in Oklahoma that you guys give you a little so everybody can know that these places do ghost hunts and stuff like that?
My top 3, I would say, is the Moore Lindsay Historical House Museum in Norman. That's a big mouthful, and I have to think about it every time I say it. When I had first put the group together, and it was right before shutdown, right? And we were starting to look for new locations to partner with to do historical preservation, that kind of stuff. And I went driving around. I just got a list of all the historical houses in Oklahoma City and the surrounding areas and the museums. And so I was like, okay, well, this one's 20 minutes away and I've got to go do some errands down there anyway. And so I drove by this house and I'm like going, I've got to stop. I look up and out of the window, they've got like this one little turrets and it's like a sitting area. And a lady is standing there looking at me and I'm like, yes, yes, this is one. So they were closed for that day. And so at the time, one of my team members at the time, she's like, I called and they're going to be open tomorrow. Do you want to go? And I'm like, yes. Do you really have to ask? Yes. So we go down there and I didn't say anything. We just wore our normal clothes. We didn't wear our woo-woo shirts or anything like that. Because, sometimes people are a little leery.
Yeah.
And so I go in and we take the whole tour and the curator is amazing. Amy is just so great to us, and I would love to come. I try to go down there at least once a quarter, get people in the door and get to hang out with all the entities that live there and show my love. And so we were kind of talking, and I was like looking. I'm like, so has anything weird ever happened? She goes, now let me tell you. And I'm like going, yes. Yes.
Here we
And
go.
so she started, she goes, then why do you ask? I'm like, so I have a proposition for you. And it's been heaven ever since. So we go in, we would do it. It's a small Victorian, so we keep the group small. During Halloween, we do a little bit bigger. We can help fund maybe a window or two because they just had to have windows replaced and a roof replaced, and that house is painted. It's always something with an old house, right?
Yes.
And so we'll do one upstairs and one downstairs. And Amy's got to where she'll want to lead a group, and I'm like, yes, come on, Amy, come on, do something outside the house. And I'm like, yes. So I really love to partner with her, and she's kind of giving me some leads because curators talk with other curators. We're out of funding. Have you guys heard from anything out? New funding coming down the pipes, or I've got a new opportunity. How about you doing this? And so they'll kind of, I'm going to send you somebody, and they want to talk to you about maybe some investigations there. And she knows which ones are up for it and which ones are like, we don't want anybody to know this is haunted. And I'm like, going, money. I want to give you money here. Come on.
Yeah.
And it's not just for me, it's for you to get you. People may not even know that you're there.
Yeah.
But that's one place. Let me move on to another one. I love Amy. Another one is the Oklahoma State Publishing Museum in Guthrie. If you know anything about Guthrie, all of Guthrie is haunted, right? All of it. Just every single square inch is haunted. But Clarissa there is amazing. She is also come on board with wanting to do more on her end, not only for her location, but for other locations. And she's just great. And then the Oklahoma State Firefighters Museum. The building itself is new, but you have to think about the emotional things that go on for a firefighter. And their bunker gear and the trucks and all of their belongings. There is so much energy tied to some of these pieces that there's a lot of haunting there. My favorite thing that happened there is tripwire. Everybody loves them a tripwire, right?
Yes.
And firefighters are very gentlemanly like. We laid out a tripwire across the museum. There were some trucks and it's like a stuffed horse. It's a real stuffed horse, by the way. And I was like, I'm looking for an escort. And they walked me down the tripwire. It was just amazing.
Wow.
I'm like going, this like I'm sold on the tripwire.
Yeah.
But like, you guys can't make this up. And then we tried to debunk it. We tried to, touch it and stomp and do all those kind of things to make the lights go off. And there's just no way that it could be faked where we were at. So that made a few believers of the non-believers that were there too. So but I really like to partner with the museums and, learn a little bit about the history of why the museum is a museum.
Yeah.
Those kind of things.
Well, and I think also too, like going definitely to the battlefield this weekend, history and paranormal takes such a big part together. Like when you get stuff in your paranormal investigation that lines up with the history,
right?
It's like, okay, like that's it kind of helps that evidence become stronger. So that I will say, like after doing a battlefield, I love when we can really get into history and paranormal. I think those are some of my favorite things to do. So
I like to go in blind to a new location. I'm not expecting something like, oh, I heard it and maybe I really didn't hear it because I really want to hear it. Yeah, and that way I can go back and like, okay, I heard this, this, and this, and people are like, yep, that's what happened. So I'm like, okay, so what I got was true to form for this location.
Yeah, we go in sometimes. I'm like, I don't want to hear nothing.
Yeah, we're like, no,
I don't want to hear nothing. And then sometimes, kind of like this weekend with the whole battlefield, because it was a Civil War house, we kind of knew what was going to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what it was and what happened there. So the whole history thing was really cool with that. But majority of the time when we go into a certain place, like, I'm like, I don't want to hear nothing. I want to, like you said, you want to bring that to them and be like, I found this, we saw a 7-foot shadow or whatever. Like, oh, that's so-and-so in that hallway, or that's, so-and-so here. So,
or like, hey, this spirit kept saying this, and this. And they're like, actually, that did happen in 19 something, and the history plays a part in that paranormal. And we're like, oh, wow.
Right.
So you're from Oklahoma.
Yep.
I want to know, have you investigated or took any equipment down to the Oklahoma City bombing?
I can't bring myself to do that. Before I even really started into the paranormal, I remember exactly where I was at when that happened. I can get to myself to the gate, and I can't go any further. I think for me, it's still too fresh.
Yeah.
That is something I've kind of thought about. I'm like, is it still too fresh? Is it disrespectful for me to go do that because it's home? I mean, I would do that somewhere else. What makes it different for this here? Maybe because for me, it's too close to home.
Yeah.
We used to go every year for down, I guess, at this time of the year when they have the Oklahoma, where they have the World Series, the College World Series, and all that. She used to play in a tournament. And one year we went down and we went and visited and stuff. And I like those kind of, I mean, I don't, it's kind of weird to say that, but I like to, I want to visit those, to feel that emotion, to see those things, because it is part of our history and things that's happened
you
that
see
I
on,
was seeing.
You see it on TV, but being in there it's a whole other. It brings reality to the world.
It does, and I think that might be an issue for me because I drove by that, and I knew people who were in that building, and I knew, and I watched it every day on TV, and me and my neighbors talked about it, and I remember how old my children were, and there's just, I think it's still a little raw for me.
Yeah.
I would think that I would like to maybe take like a Phasma box or something and just sit under the tree, that big tree right there, and just sit under the tree and just talk, just, not like.
You would probably get, there is a lot of feeling there, which I think is why I can't get past the gate. A lot of times I can turn that down, but that I have not been able to, and I'm not sure if it's, I want to, and deep inside I'm like, no, you don't want to. So
there was, we went, and this was before we even thought about the paranormal. And there was already so much emotion there. Just, I don't think we've ever gone to a place and just were there in silence the whole time and just absorbed it all. But it's the way they did the memorial. It's beautiful. It is
with
absolutely
all the chairs
beautiful.
And in a line and stuff, and stuff was really kind of, it was really good too.
It was very well thought out.
Yeah.
It was very well thought out.
They did amazing with that.
And and if you don't know, like, you knew what it looked like, so the street in the front of it is now no longer a street. You can't get to it,
right?
And stuff. And like, I was trying to picture, I'm like, oh, and then I had to look at pictures, like, oh, this was a street. This was, and stuff.
And
like
there was stairs that went up. It was like
it
was like a raised thing. You went up the stairs, and
so if anybody who's listening, viewing, if you are in the Oklahoma,
go by and look at it. It's very nice.
It's beautiful.
It is worth your time, and it's beautiful. I would 100% recommend it.
I mean, I've always said that I would like to do 9/11. It would be very hard because there's so many people and it's New York City and stuff like that. But one of my big things, and we'll ask you this in a second, like, we will ask you, just so you can start thinking about it.
Yeah.
What your favorite, if you had no expenses paid, all expenses paid, what would be the number one place in the United States that you'd want to go to investigate, and what out of the country? And mine is, like, I would think like Auschwitz. Thank you. Auschwitz would be kind of a same thing, very somber type place too. But just to talk, I mean, I don't want to like interrogate or nothing, but
you feel like
you just want to share. You want to give them the opportunity to share their story.
Yeah, to sit down and just chat, see if there's anybody that would, that would chat or anything like that.
Because we have the equipment, we have the opportunity to give to them to speak out and talk.
So, all right. So we asked you to think of what's your number one place that you want to go to?
All expenses, everything.
I've talked to the network about this. I want to go to oh my gosh, I just forgot. It's in California. I just lost my brain.
Do you want to say
The
it?
prison.
Alcatraz.
Yes. And I
That's his
see it,
number
and I'm
one.
like, why can I not say that
Wait, as
word?
soon as she went like this,
As soon as she went like,
I was like
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz.
I'm like, I'm drawing that, the island. So
Yeah.
Alcatraz. And I told Jim, the network owner, and I said, you can even lock me in there by myself. I'll do it by myself. Just let me go.
You don't
Get
even
me
have
in
to
there.
go.
He's like,
my
really?
one
And I'm like,
place.
yeah, where else do you want to lock me in? Let's go.
Yeah, that's his number one.
That's my one place. And I'm actually in June. I don't know what the date is, but we actually have a lady that's going to be on our guest that she has investigated Alcatraz.
Oh, awesome.
She got to go, well, she kind of did some swindling and talking to some of the guards that were on the tour. And they
let her turn the lights out?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what she got, how far she got or what she got, but she's coming on. Because that's my number one. I would, that's my hands down.
So if I get to
place.
go, I'll let you know.
Well, I'm going to let you know. To start out, it's $20,000.
I need a sugar daddy, but
that's just. But then you have to charter a boat, and you have to have a helicopter on standby for emergencies. So the 20,000 I called, the 20,000 is just the same price as a film crew would have to
rent it out.
Right.
Rent it out. They don't cut any deal. But that's the whole island. You get
I'm
whole
I'm thinking
island.
about my 401k.
Yeah, I'm like, how much does it charge to charter a boat?
A dinghy. It'll be fine. We'll go do it in the summer.
Let's get a canoe.
Hey, 1, 2, 3. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, you're like, what are those people out there in a canoe?
Don't worry, it's fine. It's fine.
Hey, does it count if I become a nurse?
Yeah.
Oh, I have some nurses. They'd love to go. So
there you go. Perfect. There's a medical group. We're fine.
Fine. It's fine.
Yes. So what would be your one place out of the country?
Oh my goodness. You took my Auschwitz. That's at the top of the list. Vlad's Castle in Romania, I think, would probably be. I mean, entire country Romania is very.
Is that the first Romania?
Yeah.
I think that might be the first Romania. Yeah. So. Romania would be cool. It'd be really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, ooh, yeah, Romania.
I did spend 2 weeks in Ireland last year, and my plan was just to go and do a bunch of investigations. But they roll up the streets at like 6 o'clock in the evening, really, literally across the country. And to do investigations, you have to plan months and months in advance. And I'm like, oh. But I did stay at some haunted places, and they were great. And I almost became a ghost at an abandoned. It was a derelict cemetery. Oh. The weeds were like up to my waist, and I'm like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm like out in the middle of nowhere, and I fell in a hole. I was like, I'm gonna be the newest ghost.
Take me now.
It'll be fine.
Imagine.
It'll be fine.
Pass away in a haunted location.
It'll be fine. I just dropped pins whenever I stopped someplace. I mean, I had self-service and had friends there, but I'm like driving across the country by myself, just, having a grand old time. And I'm like, oops, I should drop a pin. And I'm glad I did. And I'm like, well, just in case you don't hear from me, this is where I'm at. Look in the hole.
If I'm in a ditch in a hole, please come and get me.
Yes. It was just thick enough for my foot to go in, and I had to take my shoe off to get out. And it was a whole thing, but I would do it again. Totally. Oh, yeah. Totally.
So what would you say to people that are just starting out with the paranormal? What would you say to them that some kind of advice would you give to them?
Be respectful. Be patient. Don't spend all the money at first.
Don't buy all the equipment right away.
Don't have to buy all the equipment right away.
Especially when you think you need it.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I do have quite a bit because I like bells and whistles and pretty things. That way, those who are not in tune and, live streams and TV, they like to see the bells and whistles and hear the noises, right? Mm-hmm. But that just helps corroborate what you're feeling as an investigator or someone who has abilities to other people. I'm like, do you feel that? Do you see that? I feel somebody walk in the room and, stuff starts going off, and you're like, yes, it's not just me. Yes. But just be don't trespass. Don't do stupid stuff and get us blocked out of beautiful and amazing locations.
Out of other places and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
So because like I said, you're one bad seed can ruin it for everybody.
Yep.
Very much.
I agree.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. I mean, it's not for everybody, and that's what I tell when I do public investigations. If you are 30 minutes into this and it's not for you, you're not going to hurt my feelings if you leave.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine to leave. So, and kids, I love to have kids come. I do them a little bit differently with when I have kids. I make sure I'm in a location that is softer, I guess, with the spirits. And kids are they are so good at the question things and asking questions and how to ask them, and they seem to respond to children a lot more too. So that's a whole nother thing. But I just be patient. Just be patient. You can spend 3 hours sitting in the dark talking to yourself. You get ready to pack all your stuff up, and that's when it's going to happen. And don't be surprised when that happens.
Tell them it's just like fishing.
It is just like fishing.
Just like fishing.
It's going to take a while.
Like, this is nothing like TV. That's 2 weeks of filming crammed into 30 minutes. So
yeah, that's the problem with that is everybody watches the TV shows and then they think, oh,
it's that fast paced.
Like, right. Boom, they think they're 30 minutes. Like, we haven't seen nothing. We haven't got. I'm like, no. I'm like,
we don't get anything until second break and after our second snack. Okay.
Yeah. I'm like,
exactly.
They film for 2 weeks for that 40-minute segment.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like it kills.
And they have somebody to do all their reviews for them. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Film editing and everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and too, like I said before, sometimes if things don't work out, they antagonize them. They get things stirred up the wrong way. But yeah.
And try to keep your shirt on. Try to keep your shirt on.
Yeah. We keep the shirts on over here.
In front of the camera at least. So.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Jesse said hello, everyone. Hello,
What's up,
Jesse.
Hello.
Kelly Hudson said hi from me and Susan. Hello.
Oh, that's the lady that bought Susan.
Susie. Hello.
Oh,
hello. How is she? How is she doing?
Yeah, how is Susie doing?
Susie was a doll that we had for a year. It was one of our haunted dolls.
This weekend.
And we sold her this weekend. Yeah.
Oh, someone gifted me a haunted doll.
Mal, hey.
What's up, Mal? Brandy said, hey.
What's up, Brandy?
Hi, Brandy. Mal said, hashtag no more dolls. I agree. Okay.
I got plenty of dolls.
Lauren said these YouTubers are ruining it for everybody else who takes it seriously and not just to get followers.
Yes.
Yep. Sadly, that's the truth. Brandy said, yes, we love the tripwires. Yes, we've been using them ever since we got them. And like you said, it takes that first initial thing to be like, wow. And then you're constantly bringing them out. You're like, oh, gotta bring out the tripwire.
Now I got the long one. Now I want the short one.
Yeah.
Because, you never know.
Well,
he wraps it up.
Wait a minute. We've debunked that. They're the same. Other than they're just spaced farther apart.
But, sometimes the haul isn't quite that long. And then sometimes you need 3 of them to go down the big haul.
Hey, I agree.
I was like, we had a long pair and a short pair. And I was like, wait, there's the same number of things. They're just spaced out a little further.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with that. Sometimes.
Yeah. He wraps around his neck when we travel.
I walk around like it's a
we'll
scarf.
go up. Well, when we're going up and down the steps, you don't want to keep rolling it up and putting it in the box. So he'll just wrap it around him.
My body.
It's like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a paranormal tree.
Exactly. Brady said, kids are truly the best.
Hey,
Bella is one.
Bella and Brandy.
Hello. Yes. And they're so open-minded and intuitive. Yes. They are. Yes. Carrie said, hi. Hello, Carrie. But yeah, no, kids are the best. That's the things is we don't have an age limit, but is stipulations like, okay, like how mature are they? Right. Are they going to be able to sit still for more than 30 minutes? And when we're doing a rotation, we don't want kids running around and not being still and making noise. But
sometimes at More Lindsay, then they have a lot of volunteers that are under the age of 15, from like 12 to 15, and I'll do a special one for them and allow other people to bring younger kids in with
Yeah.
to let the parents, adults know, I do have a lot of children here. And
Mhm.
if this one is not for you, then, we can come back and do it another night. So, because children, they're different, their attention span's a little bit different. And I'm probably would ask different questions. We don't ask, are you dead kind of questions, though, we tend to ask more getting to know you questions.
Mhm.
So
That's what we like about like Ashmore Estates.
Mhm.
They have Kids Day, where during the day
I
they're just like
love that.
all the kids come in, they get to run,
And they
get to go and do
roam,
investigate on their own,
All the
whatever,
things.
and just run around the
Ooh.
building.
and it brings that energy of those
Yes.
kids, and it's really nice. So we love having kids and young people and open-minded people in our investigations too.
Yeah, I love kids. I love talking to them. We get so many at like the Paracons and the
parents are like, my kid's
parents
weird.
Are like, my kid's weird.
We're
and
like,
they want to talk to the ghost. And I'm like,
come over here.
They're like, we have like a Zen garden. It's a coffin that's got sand and bones in it and stuff.
Oh,
and they're sitting there poking their finger in it.
And their parents like, stop it. We're like, it's fine. Go ahead.
That's what it's supposed to be for.
They're like, I want this. They're like, most of the other girls want barrettes and hair things.
And they're they're naturals at it.
They
so.
are.
Yeah.
Or the parents are like, my kid's got imaginary friends. We're like, please tell us. We're like,
tell us more.
Yeah, I get down and talk.
Parent, go away. Let me talk to the kid.
I'm like, tell me what kind of stuff you got going.
There's a no-legged man underneath my house. I'm like, okay, I don't think the kid's making that one up.
No.
But yeah. So what would you say was the most like I'm scared of my own shadow, so I get scared easily. But was there ever a moment doing the paranormal where you were like, oh, that kind of gave me like the real chills, or that gave me like I was actually a little bit scared?
Oh, let's see. I don't remember being scared at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look back, I'm like, I was stupid for not being scared. I'm too dumb to be scared for my own good,
I wish I had that. I'm just always scared.
I scream at myself more than I do anything that I can't see, right? It's usually my own shadow for real. But this is my second investigation, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And my first investigation was at something that was very soft and easy to investigate, no surprises. But we went to go help another team do a home investigation. We didn't know anything about this place.
Mm-hmm.
They had a family that had lived there for like 15 years, and they just said, we've had some stuff going on and we'd like for you to check it out. The place was empty. That family had moved out, and we had walked in, and like I said, this is my second investigation, and I was feeling kind of queasy. Thought maybe it's because we ate that hot dog from the gas station. So, and then I'm sitting there in the hallway. There's a hallway that goes like this, and it's like a T. It's an old house, and so a bedroom's this way and a bedroom's this way, and there's a bathroom right here. And I'm sitting talking to this girl, and I see somebody, full figure, walk across the doorway, and I'm like, is everybody in here? And there was only 3 of us. I'm like, 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, let me go outside. And there was no way that could have been a shadow. So I'm like, I'm still feeling a little, I'm like, okay, I'm contributing it to nerves because, again, my second investigation.
Yeah.
And so a little bit later, the REM pod in that room kept going off, and we were over on the other side of the house in the kitchen, and it kept going off. So we go in there, and we're checking, trying to debunk everything, Ovilus, saying demon and all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, oh, I just do not feel real well. And that felt like somebody was just like squeezing me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up. And so they, my team lead had come over and anointed me with some holy water and was praying on me. And I see it come off of me and go over and just like wrap its, I say wings, but it looked like bat wings around the girl. And I'm like, he's on her now. And so about that time, the light blew in the bedroom, the light blew. And I'm like going, okay, so this is what we're doing now. okay. So I'm like, nope, we're not gonna get scared. And just we got to do this. And so we prayed over her, and I saw it undo its wings, arms, things, and like scurry off into this like the water hole in the closet and go up into the walls. And I'm like going, I think I need to go outside.
Yeah.
I think I need to go outside. I was not prepared for this mentally because we just thought it was grandma's here and sad because the family left.
Yeah.
No, no. Come to find out, that bedroom was the teenage son's bedroom who had been playing with the Ouija board. So
damn Ouija boards.
That's a
bad name.
I'm like, so from that, looking back, I should have been scared because I'm dumb, obviously, a little bit. But I remember thinking, if this is what I'm going to do, I need to learn how to protect myself and those around me.
Yeah.
Now I understand why I was feeling queasy, because there was something here and my body was telling me there's something here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably something I should have, little information.
Man.
Listen to your body, folks.
Yeah.
It's not that gas station it could be, but it's probably not that gas station hot dog.
What else have you learned now? There's two things you do before you go on a ghost hunt. Yeah. You don't eat Mexican, and you don't eat hot dogs from the gas station.
Right.
You don't eat no hot food or anything from the gas station before a ghost hunt or Mexican.
But man, second
Mexican is after.
Mexican is after. What? Those two things you don't want to have before you're going to.
Imagine.
We've come across some really crappy bathrooms.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We went to a place where she was going to have to pee in a bucket.
Yeah. I said, "Is there any bathrooms?" He goes, "No, the boys can use that. Outside." He's like, "I got a bucket." I said, "Sir, you have cameras in here. That's not going to work." I looked at my father. I said, "You're going to take me to a gas station."
I had to take her like 20 minutes down the road to a gas station, and then none of the gas stations had open bathrooms because the homeless is so bad around there.
So they closed the bathrooms.
So they closed their bathrooms. So we had to find a hotel. It was like.
So take a what are those hitch porta potties with you? So there you go.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Just a little one.
Yeah, just a little one.
Imagine that all happening in like your second investigation. What would you? I'd be like, what?
I mean, that could have broke me.
That could have sent you like, you know what? I'm done.
I'm done.
No more. Yeah.
But I was, again, empty nest syndrome, and I'm like going, what's going to happen, right? What's the worst that could happen?
For me, it would have been intriguing. I'm like, all right. Then I got all the other things have been bad because none of that stuff happened.
Man,
I got ruined.
Second investigation. You jumped right in there. Oh,
right.
My gosh.
Well, that's what they kind of say for like West Virginia Penitentiary.
Yeah.
It's like so haunted. They said, don't make that your first investigation because
after that,
you'll
be ruined because you won't get the activity that you get from that.
Yeah. And so there was a little adrenaline rush, and I think that's what really kind of sucked me in. But then I knew what I needed to learn.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask the question no one's ever asked, and that got asked to me this weekend, and I thought, wow, this is really cool, because we do a speaking thing we do like a little class 101, and people ask questions, and this question was asked, and there's never been this question, and I was like, wow. So everybody always asks you what your most creepy and scariest moment has been investigated.
Yeah.
So the question is, what has been the silliest thing that's happened to you while you've been investigating?
The silliest. Oh,
and I was like, wow, that's a good question because I couldn't think of it.
Good one.
But you told me what ours was, and I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
I still don't remember what I told him. I did tell him something.
I mean, my mom passed away a long time, and this is her house. So I guess it's not really an investigation.
That's fine.
It's
something with the paranormal.
Okay, well, there's another one, but I don't know if I should say that on here. Okay, I'll say it. Okay, it really was kind of funny. We were at Ballinger, and we were sitting around this. They have a Ouija table, a table that's painted like a Ouija board, and Demetrius is African American, and the rest of us were girls. And I think was there another guy, and we were obviously talking. You could tell by the accent. We were through the spirit box. It was a very Southern gentleman, and you could tell he was kind of oppressed. Do I really want to? It's funny. And we were sitting there and he goes, "Why are there so many white people here?" Just like, what?
Out of pocket.
I was like, okay. I mean, that's not something that I expected. So, but yeah, what was his name? Was Alfred or Angus or something like that. I can't remember what his name was, but
man,
he just talked like for like 45 minutes, and all of a sudden he just like stopped, and it felt like he just looked around the room and went, okay.
oh man,
but yeah,
imagine just waiting for an answer, and all of a sudden, bam.
Yeah, I'm like, okay,
you're sleep
that's
deprived.
great.
You're tired.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I think we laughed so hard. It was just, I'm like, I'm sorry.
He's asked, well, so why we get that a lot when we investigate with Christopher.
Yeah.
We go to these places and they're like, what's he doing here? He don't belong.
And he has the most awesome comebacks.
Because I mean, he's a black gentleman, so we go to a lot of these houses that they weren't supposed to be,
right.
The spirits are not supposed to be there, or they were thought about, hey, why are they sitting at my table? And they get very, very, we've noticed they get very mad.
Yeah.
Because it's still their time.
Right. Yeah. It's their time. And Christopher is like, he's on it, man. His
comeback
like, what are you going to do?
Boom.
What?
He like snaps back.
Yeah, he's like picking up their spark and like,
it's so funny. We just let him do it's so funny.
He's a big guy. I mean, like, not like fat, but he's just broad
just a big guy
and taller than me.
Very strong features.
Yeah,
like
it's like he's like,
it's
what are you gonna do about it?
It's so funny. Man,
like, Christopher, don't provoke the ghost. You don't know he's different.
Don't do it.
They tell him too. They get ignorant. They're like, he needs to be like downstairs or
like
get him out.
Oh
and
man,
stuff like that.
I
thought it was gonna happen again when you were on Estes.
Yeah.
This weekend, you were like, Chris. And Chris was like, "Oh, here we go," because he thought, but
here we go.
Yeah, it was somebody.
That reminds me of
hey.
Yeah, it was just like,
oh man,
he's so funny when he does that. So I can imagine that's
Oh man,
and we had been investigating for like 4 or 5 hours at that point.
That's what I'm saying. You guys are tired.
I'm like, what? And said it multiple times, and I'm just like, okay, he's repeating himself. This is not a radio station.
He's like, you guys didn't answer me in the first place.
Okay, we're gonna go back upstairs.
Oh man.
But yeah, that old part never ceases to amaze.
Oh man.
What's your question?
I'm blanking on my other question.
What's your favorite piece of equipment?
There you
go. Oh, tripwire is right there. It's right there. It was the SLS for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But when I had the firefighter walk me down the hall, and I've had other experiences with the tripwire. I do races with kids, and I count 1, 2, 3, and then I'll go to the next light. And sometimes they'll race me that way, or they'll when we do 1, 2, 3, they'll go 1, 2, and they'll go. It's just the tripwire. It's the tripwire.
Yeah.
So
I have to admit though, the newer ones I know that like the candle that came out, they have the new like the candle that's like a REM pod. It turns on, turns off. When energy have you seen that one yet?
I have not.
Yeah, so it's like a big candle. It stands about this tall. They're white, but it's made out of real wax. Like the candle is really wax candle, but the inside has like a flameless light, one of those flameless like tea lights or whatever. And
that's not Texas friendly.
And when
wax is not Texas friendly.
No, it's like we're all talking about that too. I'm like, of all the hot places that we go to, I'm like, that's gonna melt.
That's a winter only candle.
Yeah. But when the energy gets near it, it turns it on or turns it off.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool to see all of a sudden just the light comes on and stuff. And then the newest one was the ghost bell. Have you seen that?
Yes. Actually, one of the girls that I investigate with sometimes, she has that. And we got some really good responses.
That's really cool to hear that. Like ding, ding, ding.
We were
ding,
sitting there and even when she turned it down, it was like ding, 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 ding. And I'm like going, okay, I got it.
You know, what'd be really cool is to investigate that bell in a hotel and put it at the front desk.
We didn't do it at the front desk, but we had it in some of the rooms.
Yeah.
So I think we'll next time we go, we should do that.
Yeah.
And we had it at the mansion. I had a mansion. I put it in her office, and it was like ding, 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 ding. And I was like, wow, like that thing's going all crazy.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of cool.
Sensitive. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, it's I love to hear those things like when you're in a hospital or something where it's big and you got it down into another room and everybody's at the other hallway or whatever.
Yeah.
I had one that was just the old timey bell, and I broke it last time on accident.
I hate to change the topic, but if our power or anything or Wi-Fi goes out, just keep talking. The chat will entertain you. If we just, it's starting to storm, and we're supposed to have a bad storm. So if we cut out, just say it.
Okay.
I hear the thunder. I just looked at her, the thunderstorm.
Yeah, I was like,
I think it missed me and went north to you. So
maybe the cicadas will like stop chirping.
No, they're not.
Well,
no, they won't. It'll just be like they're underwater. It'll be fine.
They could all drown.
You go out there, they'll be floating.
They'll be like floating on, still
got their little floaties on.
Yeah, they're swimming with their wings.
Trying to think. What else? You got a question?
I don't know.
No,
I can't remember. I need to write them down. I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna write all my questions down.
One job.
Then you'll lose your list. It's fine.
Yeah. You want to go over what's the?
Yeah. Let's see. Lauren said, I'm taking my 11-year-old niece on her first investigation in 2 weeks. She is so excited. Yes, it's perfect.
It's going to Mineral Springs.
Nice. That's a perfect start. It's a perfect.
Okay, where are you going in Mineral Springs?
No, Mineral Springs. It's in Alton, Illinois.
Okay.
It's an old. Yeah.
I was gonna go. Okay. Because the one that I know is like, no babies.
No. It's a Mineral Springs Hotel in Alton, Illinois.
There's a lot of kids spirits there, and so
acceptable.
Yes. Brandy said, I like the Marco Polo pool one Bella recorded. The whole interaction was pretty amazing.
Yes, the Estes thing. She has that on.
Brandy said Christopher is the best. We love his responses. Yes. Carrie said the storm is just starting at my house. Yes. It's thundering pretty loud here. Yeah. So just in case we
get lose and stuff. Yeah, like the Estes, she has that on TikTok, the whole Marco Polo. So when we go on Estes, my favorite thing to do is always say Marco to see if somebody will say Polo. If she'll say
I do secret words.
You know, so I mean, I don't care where I'm at. I'm like, I'll be walking through a building because we hold events too, and people will be on Estes or they'll be listening to a Phasma box or Spirit box, and I always walk by and be like, Marco, just to see if one time someone's going to say Polo. Yeah. You know, we've had it happen one time, and that was at Indiana State Sanitarium, and it was kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of cool to get the Polo back. Now we've had it to like we say Marco and then turn around, they'll go Marco, and they'll repeat us, and we'll say Polo, you know, but they will never.
Yeah, we're waiting for the one day to click.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the one day that we go Marco, and then we hear down the hallway Polo. I'm peeing my pants and running.
So, what is your favorite? What is like? I know you say the tripwire, but what's something that you like to do that you think that no one else, you know, like if you had the chance to say, hey, there's one thing you should try and stuff, because like we always try to learn new things. Because I said we're not professionals.
No.
There's no one to say that you're a professional. There's Zach Baggins is not even a professional.
No,
even though he wants to say as much as he can. But there's no book written to say who makes you a professional.
Yeah.
We're all learning every time. So we always learn new things, and we like to ask people what's something like someone taught us to play hide and seek
with the dowsing
rods. Someone hides and then
we did it, and it worked.
Like
that's fun.
Yeah.
And we play that with the little kids. Like we'll hide and seek, and then we'll play with them and have them show me how to find her, where's she at, you know.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and we do.
I'm adding that. Okay,
yeah,
hang on.
See, there you go. See, you learned something.
Where's my pen?
Somebody, and we learned that from Night Song, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
I believe so. It was Night Song Paranormal.
Definitely going to play hide and seek.
Yeah.
You do Marco Polo. I do secret word.
Okay.
So like our host, I'll have the curator write down a word only they know, and then at the end of the night, throughout the night, of course, I'll ask. Amy has given us a word that only she knows and told to you. Can you tell us that word? Sometimes we get it, and sometimes we don't. Like the very first time I did it, the house that we were at, the lady had peacocks. And so I was the only one that knew the word because I didn't think about asking her. And so I'm like, okay, peacocks. I wrote it down. I knew what the word is. And then I told Amy. And so we're at the end and we're like, if you want us to leave, say the secret word, and we'll leave. And clear as day, they go peacock. And I'm like, shut up. Shut up. Because you don't just, I mean, even if you get the radio through the spirit box, how often are you going to hear the word peacock, right?
Right. Certain words you're just not hearing on the radio.
Right. Yeah. So, and I look at Amy, I'm like, okay, I don't think my friends heard you. Can you say that again? And they said it twice. And I'm just like, time to go. I told them that we would.
Alrighty.
So, but I do secret word. So.
Wow.
We also do, like when she's on Estes or something, or someone's on, we're like, Mary had a little, and see if they'll finish the sentence. Or I know a couple people played the duck, duck, goose, duck, duck. You know, see if they'll say goose or row,
need to
row,
put more
row
kids
boat.
stuff in mine. Okay.
Yeah.
I always have to be the adult around.
The nursery rhymes.
The nursery rhymes.
Just finish that. Don't say the last word, and then see if the person on Estes will say that word.
We'll do some of that. Okay.
So, you want to give everybody your socials?
You can find me at Valkyrie Paranormal on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm not on there very much, and TikTok. I usually just follow and kind of ghost around, I guess.
Yeah.
I haven't posted a whole lot on TikTok, but hopefully when we get back to investigating live stream, I'm going to be putting more stuff. Our social media manager didn't really do a whole lot with that, so bad on me for not following up. But you can find me at all of those places. Also, ValkyrieParanormal.org. We do services need. We do a little bit of everything. So.
Yeah,
you're our first Oklahoma.
Yeah, so if anybody's in the Oklahoma area or visiting,
come
see Valkyrie Paranormal.
And then the Spirit Realm Network, do they have their own TikTok page or Facebook
page?
They
have all the same, spiritrealm.net. They do. There's I'm the only live stream team. I haven't done anything in a short while. I've got 2 new members getting ready to come on, so we'll start back with live streams. They do a lot of tarot readings. Do we still have the doctor? We have some like edited, recorded kind of stuff on there too, and they're all great, super nice people. You know, like I said, Jim lets us do what we want as long as you keep your shirt on and keep the swearing to a minimum.
There you go. That's all you can ask for.
Right? I said, try. I said, Jim, I'll try to keep my shirt on this time, but what if it's hot?
Yeah.
What if it's really hot? I'll stand behind the camera. How's that?
Well, yes, we will have to collab. I would love, if you're coming somewhat close to the St. Louis area.
I was just in St. Joe in March.
Oh.
We did. What's that wedding venue? Oh my gosh, it's a mansion. We did Beatty Mansion and what's that?
Floor psychiatric unit.
Yes, we did that. We did that.
Okay, I have a question. Did you see the dummy down in the basement in the morgue?
The mannequin.
I wanted to. Yes.
And okay,
what was he wearing?
What was he wearing?
He was wearing a sheet.
No.
Did you take the sheet off?
No, I didn't take the sheet off. Okay, so let me tell. I always tell people,
took the sheet off. You just seen Haunted Souls Paranormal shirt.
We're going back, so I will.
You'll have to do that.
We're holding an event August 17th there.
I think we're August 17th. I'll have to see if I can come up. I know we're going to go back to Beatty Mansion October 25th and 26th to help with their Halloween fundraiser.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think we're going to stay the night.
We are so crammed on that whole month. with stuff packed
from
out.
like August
Oh
to
my God,
October. We're just.
I know we're going to come back to do Beatty again.
So
As
in August we're 16th and 17th.
okay.
The 16th we're at McIntyre Villa, which
Okay.
is in Atchison, Kansas.
Right.
And then we're doing.
I met her
the next
last
night.
time.
Oh, Stephanie.
Stephanie.
She's great. I love Stephanie.
Love
She was our very first podcast. She was on our very first podcast.
She's a hot mess. I
love
her for it
love
too.
her. She's great.
Yes,
love her
that's the best part about
I love
Stephanie.
watching her videos that she posts, like from her cameras. Like she'll be doing something and the tape will move, or something will move, and she'll look at it, and then she'll be like, "Oh, like I love her videos."
Yes, and then she posted the other day about fixing her screen door with tape. I'm like, honey, I'm coming up, and we're gonna fix the door.
Yeah,
I love Stephanie, but we're doing a 2-night thing event. We're coming up.
Yeah,
we'll be Atchison on Friday and Glore on Saturday.
Okay,
but everybody asks, like I asked you, what your funniest moment is. Our funniest moment is the
dummy.
Glore.
We call Ronaldo
dummy. It's
Ronaldo.
a mannequin.
A mannequin.
Yeah,
well, kind
the
of.
mannequin in the basement. His
he
name
could be a crash touch dummy.
We named him Ronaldo.
Okay.
I don't know why, but he's Ronaldo.
He's Ronaldo.
But we went there the second time and we put a kid's youth large on him.
So it's a medium.
Oh yeah,
medium.
And I told Jared there, I was like, Jared, you can cut him off, cut the shirt off him. I said, you don't have to leave it on. We did it for photos.
Oh, Jared does the other one that we went to too. That
the work Toodle.
Yes.
So I told Jared, I was like, you can cut the shirt off. He's like, no, we love it. We're gonna leave it on there.
Yeah.
And it's been on for forever.
A year.
We got people that go. Some friends of ours, Lauren and Gina, they went there and they took pictures with them with it on and stuff.
Now I know. Yeah, I'm a door opener. I'm usually not a
I was waiting for her to say, I took the sheet back and saw your shirt.
I saw a shirt. It was a black shirt.
But he scared me because I always tell people, don't go wandering off by yourself. But what do I do? Go wander off by myself. And I'm down there and there's like no lights on, and I just have my little cell phone with my light on, and I'm like, because I was not prepared. I was looking for a place to investigate and choose a spot, and I go around. And I swear he was breathing. I swear.
I was doing a thing. I was like, remove that sheet, and I flip it over. I go, yeah, because he has so much
facial hair. Oh yeah, he's got facial hair.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Now he has a shirt, so
now
from the waist up, he's human.
Now I want to put some pants on him.
Yeah, you get some joggers.
Man.
But, we thank you for coming, Jerry.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, it's so great meeting you. And
nice to meet you.
Please
and we'll do some collab. I mean, you guys are close
enough. Please come up and see if maybe in August or something.
Yeah, because it's not hot up there in August, right?
No.
At least the two places. At least the two places I have AC.
Yes,
this is true. Okay. Yeah.
We have no investigations. We have one in June and none in July because it's hot.
It's hot.
It is hot.
I don't want to investigate nowhere where it's.
That's why I like museums.
There you go.
A lot of them have air conditioning.
Yeah.
So.
But yes, everybody go follow Jeri and Valkyrie Paranormal and Spirit Realm Network.
Yeah.
Check her out and check out the places in Oklahoma and support.
Come on, hang out with me. I'll take you there.
There you go.
You never know. I might need a couple of new Valkyrie.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much and have a great rest of your night.
Right.
You too.
Bye. That was amazing. And then, it was really nice because we never had somebody on from Oklahoma, so we've hit that.
We're moving out west.
We're moving out, guys. We're moving out.
We're moving out west. You want to finish stuff?
Yeah. Let's see. Brandy said doing those Estes is funny. Yes. Brandy said Bella says she has done a kind of hide and seek with her dowsing rods, but plays hot and cold.
Oh,
nice. Jesse said I'll be in Oklahoma in June. There you go. Go see Valkyrie Paranormal.
Go see Valkyrie Paranormal. Yeah. There you go.
Lauren said we love Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
You can lay in the body cooler in Galore too if you didn't do that last time. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
We've also taken the dummy. Oh, sorry. We've taken Ronaldo. We've taken Ronaldo off and we've laid on the slab and the autopsy table, and it doesn't feel the greatest. But yeah, so that's what we've.
Yeah, Jess, check out Valkyrie. Let her know when you're going in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
To hang out and maybe go investigate.
Yeah.
I think so.
This past weekend.
This Saturday night.
Yeah.
Just to let everybody know, Saturday night, if you want to come down to the Haunted Mansion and help set up the podcast studio and the library and stuff, you're more than welcome.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably have some pizza, some food.
Mm-hmm.
And then after we get everything set up and everything, we're going to investigate for a while.
Yeah.
Lauren, don't worry. I'm putting the cats up. So they'll be put up.
Yep.
And then next Tuesday will be our first podcast live from St. Louis Haunted Mansion.
Yep.
And our guest will be Nicole. For some reason, that episode with her is
the only episode that disappeared.
Yeah, we can't find that episode. She was banned for some reason.
And it wasn't like we were doing anything different than any other episode.
But YouTube banned her. That was the thing.
That was weird. Yeah.
And like all the other episodes, even with Santiago, how crazy and wild he was.
YouTube didn't ban him.
But somehow Nicole said something.
But maybe it was meant to be that her first on YouTube one was gonna be
yes. So Nicole will be our guest.
Yes.
Come down, hang out with us next Saturday or whatever, but next Tuesday it will be Nicole hanging out, and
we'll talk about our little sides and maybe the planning process of everything and
what she has planned for the mansion and stuff and what's coming up. I know it's supposed to be up and running, her cross her fingers, by September.
Yeah.
She wants that to be all up in a venue area.
Things are
she could do her night markets and wedding receptions and baby showers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're getting there.
Once we get past this wall that kind of has been stopping us or stopping her, it's once she gets that loan, everything comes in with it. So
right. And I'm working on the library upstairs, the Victorian Library, but we're going to have that looking pretty cool. That's probably going to be done before she's going to have everything else done. I keep finding stuff and bringing stuff, and I'm like, hey, Nicole, we got to go pick up this couch.
She's like, okay,
hey, Nicole,
I like it.
We got to go pick up this, pipe organ.
And we love Nicole, and she's been letting us have what she said, this is the vision I have. And we said, okay, we like that vision. We'll take it and we'll do it. And every time you were like, hey, we're going to do this. And she's like, okay, cool. Sounds good. She's like, if that goes, she had the theme that she wanted, which was Victorian Library. And that's what we're taking with it. And, I told her, I was like, Nicole, my side's not really Victorian Library.
Well, mine's not either. But that corner where our studio is going to be
said, that's fine. She said,
kind of obnoxious, but the rest of it's going to be all Victorian and stuff. I got to find a lower table. That's all.
But what's really cool about it is like if somebody's aesthetic is that goth, they can sit in your chair and feel and read and be in that goth setting. If they're more of the white and
vines
pink,
are going to be hanging out behind you.
They're more of
that has nothing to do with Victoria.
No, but if that's what their vibe is in, they can sit in my chair and read. You got a little bit of
a long way to go to get books in there. So anyway, so let me know. Please send me a text message if you're going to come down on Saturday.
Yes,
I need to know. We're also going to have some new people. I think Jess is coming. She said, are you going to feed me? I said,
yeah, we'll have it.
Yeah, we'll have some food down there. And it'll be her first time investigating.
Nice.
And then I think we're going to have some people that we met this weekend at the fair.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I think they're going to come down. We met the people that were across from us at the Galactic Fair.
They had been eyeing our booth for a while.
Yeah, and we had seen them at St. Charles. They were at St. Charles, and he stands out because it's kind of cool. He wears that one whole
it's like this jumpsuit, it's like a hood. It's not a one piece. It's not all.
It's all one piece.
Is it?
Yeah. It's like a big hooded kind of.
It looks really comfy.
Yeah, it's really cool and comfy. Yeah, it looks like 80.
He's tall and.
So we were talking, and he was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Hey, where are you from?" And he's like, "Maplewood."
And we're like,
we're from Fenton. And we started talking. So
man.
Barry and Sean.
Yes.
His name's Barry, and he does healing and house cleaning. And they cleanse houses. So we've been looking for someone in St. Louis to do that.
Yeah.
When we do our home investigations and stuff.
After we do investigations, everyone's like, okay, so can you get rid of them? And we're like, no. But now we have somebody
we have someone to
somebody do it.
But Barry wants to learn the Estes method and stuff. And he is, oh my God. I told him before we left, I said, I don't care if I have to give you a ticket to Missouri State Penitentiary. He is scared of his shadow. And I want to stick him and Madison together to go do a solo just to see how those two act. The whole weekend he had me laughing at just the stuff he was
they
saying.
are so funny.
Yeah, he was so funny and stuff. So they might be coming down Saturday just to investigate and stuff.
Yeah, because they've done the house cleaning or cleansings. You have me saying cleanings, house cleansings, but they never know what they don't really know like
the
paranormal side of it. So they're like,
we want the energy and the porthole and
he's like, I just want to know who I'm like more about what I'm cleansing. He goes, I know what I'm cleansing, but I just want to know more about it. So we want to know more about the cleansing. So it's like a perfect little like mashup. So hopefully they'll be there
this weekend. Of course, everybody said go to Nashville for Galactic Expo.
It's fun.
It'll be fun. Well, let me tell you, it didn't start out fun.
Can we start off before we left? We thought our power went out. Well, it did for a little bit, but then it came back on.
Yeah, but they went out again too while we were gone because the clocks were wrong.
Yeah.
But we left St. Louis about 8:30, and we were supposed to roll into Nashville at 1:30. 5:30, we rolled into Nashville.
And we had to set up our booth on Friday for the Saturdays.
It took us 9 hours to get to Nashville when it was only a 5-hour trip.
We got stuck in 3-hour traffic, and it took 3 hours
to go 2 miles.
2.5.
The highway was closed. They were rerouting all these 18-wheelers on a single lane road through a small town.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
It was awful.
Then we get there and set up. We're kind of cranky with everybody because we've been in the car. We're like, we should have been there by now already set up.
Me, my mom, and my dad. And, we're family. You know what it's like going on family trips. Everyone's crabby with each other. We've all been in the car. It's hot.
The car's jam-packed.
Yeah.
And so we finally get there. We set up, which we set up pretty quick. We weren't fully set up, but we got the majority of it set up.
Well, the thing was we had a couple new things that we wanted to try out. So that's what
our whole booth changed.
It felt stressful because we're like, what do we do with this?
Yeah, we have new racks thanks to Amelie and Kathy Kathy. They worked out perfectly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for the donation for those. Yeah, we had racks that the voodoo dolls and stuff hung on. The backpacks hung on, which was great. The other rack was our shirts hung on, which was great.
Yeah.
We took away the top part of our table. It was everything was great. We set up really good. We thought, hey, everything's going.
Yeah.
We get to the hotel.
We're tired.
It's 7:30. We still got to go to Walmart and get stuff for the, soda and chips for the event next day. And Priceline has screwed up our reservation. They gave us a 2 double room. I'm like, 2 double beds. I'm like, for 3 people. So it took us
3 not skinny people.
It took us 3 hours. Or no, took us 2 hours to get into our hotel. Yeah. It was horrible. And if anybody knows me, I know my sister's on here and stuff, if she's still watching. I was literally yelling at this lady outside.
He walked outside. And what's so funny is the people that were coming in to check in, they kept like looking behind them.
Because they basically just said it's your
problem. Your fault. Yeah.
Yeah. Where they literally missed a 1. So I was supposed to have 2 queen beds and a sofa pullout, and they gave us 2 double beds. Yeah. And it was supposed to be SQNN1 reservation, and they put in SQNN.
So they just forgot the 1. That's it. Simple mistake. It can happen to anybody, and which is fine. That wasn't the upset part. The upset part was they said, "Well, that's your fault."
Yeah, it's your problem. You'll have to pay the difference and stuff like that. And I'm like, I already paid. But
shout out to LA.
Shout out to Lola. No, what was
Lala?
Her? Lala.
Yeah.
From Clarendon Point in Franklin, Tennessee. Thank you so much, the front desk lady.
Oh, she was angel.
So nice.
She was.
She told us to cancel our reservation, and
she said you're not going to a different hotel.
Yeah, she gave us to us on a discount price, which was cheaper than what Priceline gave us.
Yeah.
She was so nice, so nice. Thank you for her for helping us out and stuff like that. Which we still gotta call her boss and stuff.
Yeah.
But we finally got in, went into Walmart, got back.
I had the pull-out couch. I whipped that thing out. I said, I'm going to bed. See
I was
y'all.
crashed. I was so tired going into Saturday.
And we had to get up earlier the next morning because
we had to set up, finish setting up.
Yeah.
And stuff. But the fair was pretty good. It was really big.
Yeah.
And stuff like
2
that.
rooms.
Yeah, it was 2 big rooms.
Yeah.
A lot of space. Everything was set up nice. Everything was good. The investigation was really good. It was different. I mean, we've done so many.
We've done
hospitals and prisons and insane asylums
and
homes and hotels and stuff like that. But a battlefield and a house like that, and it really wasn't the house. The house was haunted, and yes, they had spirits. We interacted with them, but being outside,
because it's a smaller house. It's a museum, so everyone who was investigating inside, we were like, there's no reason for us to be inside,
right?
So we sat on the porch,
and everything is built up around this house. Like there's a repair shop next door, car repair, auto mechanic next door. Mm-hmm. There's there's a restaurant, and there's some stuff down the road, and everything like that, and more houses. So they built up on this land.
Yeah.
But Thomas had said that where we were standing at the Lott's house, that was the middle where they clashed, where the war, where they fought.
Yeah.
Bang! They came together and were like stabbing each other, biting each other. That it wasn't a far apart war.
It wasn't like
they shot.
It was. He literally said it was a wave. Like everyone just clashed.
Yeah, they crashed into each other and stuff. And like
he said the AutoZone's haunted.
Yeah, they said the guy's mechanic, his building's haunted, the restaurants are haunted, the people's houses are haunted because it's all battlefield.
You think of a big battle, it's probably bigger than what you imagine. Like that's like what he made it sound of. Like you think of a lot of people in a battle, it was probably twice as what you think in your head. Yeah. It was just.
And across the street was the state has taken part of that land and has the battlefield.
Yes.
But that wasn't just all the battlefield. It was everywhere around that whole neighborhood. And he had said like 115 yards up the road is where they buried a big trench. They dug a trench.
Yeah.
And they just pushed the Confederate soldiers into this big hole and buried them. And whether they were dead or unconscious, they didn't know.
Yeah.
There was nobody walking around with a stethoscope to find out. I mean,
they had to get the bodies off so they could fight more.
Yeah, basically. I mean, if you were unconscious and didn't, like, they kick you and they didn't do nothing, they just threw you in the hole.
Yeah.
And they said they've unburied some of the trenches, and soldiers are still holding their guns. Like one's still like loading his gun and was like holding the rod in his gun where he was still loading it.
Yeah.
And he was holding his gun dead. And they said, what, like 2 or 3 days later, they thought they were like zombies.
Yeah.
They saw hands and feet coming through the ground because people that weren't dead were trying to unbury themselves.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, and like you said, we were sitting on the porch and you could see like
shadows
like just everywhere, running along the fence line and ducking down behind trees and stuff. It was just crazy to see. Like my head was like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you see that? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
But we were showing how to do, because there was a smaller group. So we just did 2 big, huge groups all together. And it was a perfect time to do Estes. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't know how to. We had a lot of new people. So we were like, okay, so they had ask the questions, and then I was doing Estes. And when I was doing it, I had never experienced that type of Estes before. I've gotten into a meditative spot, but it felt like my body, and I could see myself in like a battlefield. And it was like the soldiers were fighting and they were just going right through me. Like I wasn't there. They were just fighting and going right through me. And when I was trying to pick up on what they were saying, I felt like my head was like on a spin wheel. Like I was constantly looking back and forth, like trying to pick up voices and trying to hear what they're saying. And come to find out is what I was saying was I was recreating the battle of what people were saying, like get down, shot, all that stuff. Like I was recreating it.
Well, it was like one soldier. Like you were like, to us, it sounded like we were talking to one soldier in particular, because we were asking, like she said, I'm running. And we're like, okay, what are you running from? Like, get down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And they're like, he's like, all of a sudden he was like, don't shoot. And I'm like, okay, so is someone going to shoot you or something? And we're like, where are you from? What do you, and then we kind of figured that we thought, maybe it's someone that's, you're talking to someone, and the questions like we were asking, like, where are you from? What, regiment, or what state are you from? And he said first. So at first we thought Delaware, because that was the first state. And then we're like, he's like, no. He's like, we're like, south. And he's like, down. So we're like, okay, south. So then we said Georgia. And he's like, no. And then we're like, Alabama. And then he said, well, Madison said, yeah, he sure is. Like that. Like, that's what it was. Well, Alabama is the first state alphabetically. Yeah. So then he was like, don't shoot. Oh. And Madison was like, oh. And
I remember. I was like, ow.
Yeah, you were like, ow.
And it was like I got shot.
And he's like, I'm shot. And everything. We're like, okay. And it was like so, like in that moment, it was sounding like he was reenacting his last moment.
And when I was in when I was in the thing, like when I was in that battlefield, it felt like I was like this talking to, like, so it wasn't like, see, I had no idea, and I was not putting a story together or anything, because that's not what I was. But when you guys were having that conversation, you were having a conversation with one person. Yeah. But to me, in that state, I felt like I was going like this.
Yeah, and he was like, ow. Yeah. And like, oh, I'm shot. I'm firing. And it was like, first shot. And then it was like, did nothing. Like he died or he totally went away. Yeah. So he kind of brought her out. That's why I kind of walked up and kind of jumped on the floor. Because I know when you do Estes method, everybody's always like, you don't want to go up and like touch them because they always like freak out and stuff.
It's like an old floorboard, so you can feel it. But
that was a really cool. At first, I thought you were gonna you called out Chris. Yeah. Because at first you said Chris, and then we're like, Chris, come in here. They were like, we thought maybe you were talking to his great grandfather was
4
like,
greats.
That's what I said. Great grandfather. Yeah. Was on the thing. It was cool because Christopher said that to Thomas, and Thomas said, hey, do you want to know where he was at on the battlefield? Because Christopher knew the regiment and what he was, and Thomas showed him exactly where his grandfather was on the battlefield and stuff. And so it was a great night. It was definitely a different experience.
Well, and I had seen a shadow go from the cars to the house, and I didn't say anything except to Heidi, and you had seen the shadow go from the house to the cars. So we had seen the same shadow at 2 different times.
Yeah, and then they're running across the street because the house sits, and then you have their front yard and the fence, and then the street, and then the state park is open because it's the battlefield, and we couldn't go over there because it was dark. And Thomas like, I wouldn't advise you to walk on. There's no gate to get keep you out, but you could see them running on the field, like the shadows across the street and the fence line and the tree line and everything like that. So it was really cool. I would love to go to another battlefield. Yeah. Like Gady's. Now I know when people was like, oh, we kept seeing things run in the tree lines. I know. And I'm like, what do you mean you would see? Now I understand that whole concept of that residual energy just keeps doing the same thing. And it wasn't like they're just standing there. They're running like they look like they're running for their lives. Yeah. Like they're hiding. Fast. They're trying to get down and whatever. But if you're ever in that area, if you're ever in Franklin, go see Thomas and Kelly and take the tour. Yeah. It was funny too because we first got there, we were outside, and Heidi goes, "There's someone standing up there watching us."
Yeah.
She's like, it's a woman. I was like, she goes, "It's a woman up there watching us." Before none of us. And then Thomas came out and was telling us the history. And he's like, "Oh, the woman in gray
stands up there and
watches everybody and everything." And I looked at Heidi,
and Heidi just chuckled.
I was like, "Shut up!" I was like, "Shut up, Heidi."
Well, and we've had Heidi on here, and you see like how she's if you're ever into metaphysical, go to one of her spirit galleries because she's legit. She's, and I was sitting there on the front porch, and I've been really trying to get out. My abilities were just on point during the battlefield, and I'm sitting there, and it's like my ear went to like, it was like a tube, and it just went, and I could hear someone being like, "Get me out of here, get me out of here." And it was a male who, like, it was like his soul never left his body. It wasn't like he was buried alive, but his soul just never left his body. It's like he died, and when he was woken back up, he realized he was underneath the ground, and he was like, "Get me out, get me out." And I'm sitting there holding my ear, and Heidi turns over, looks at me, she goes, "Ignore the screaming." I go, "Heidi, stop." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And she's like, I'm getting him out. And so she's like, I'm like, "There's a lot of them like that." She goes, "Their soul never left. They didn't realize," she was like, "Their soul just never left their body." And so it was really cool. And I've never felt, it was not only cool because it was different, but my abilities were really on point. It made me a little more confident in my abilities. And
just imagine the energy that's flowing through. Like he said, any houses from here to 50 miles that were left standing were hospitals. And like, if someone died, they just pitched them out the window.
It was
and
like,
brought in another body that they needed to
take care of.
And then in the Thomas house, there was blood stains on the floor, like soaked into the wood.
The Lots house.
The Lots house. What did I say?
Thomas house.
I'm sorry. I told Brandy and them, I said, if I had to hear about the Thomas house one more time over after this weekend.
And the guy was name was Thomas when we met him.
But the Lots house, there's blood stains on the floor.
Yeah.
And it's just, it was crazy. It was just, the energy was different.
Yeah.
And then Maddie got in trouble. One of the spirits, the lady in silver, or the lady in gray, didn't like Maddie going into her. Maddie went across the rope and went to put a REM pod in
I was unannounced. I was a kid going into a woman's space.
And you didn't ask permission.
And I did not ask permission to be entered into her room. And I didn't do it. No, don't get me wrong. I wasn't like, I was disrespectful. I literally just took it off to go put a REM pod in there. And then I just put it back. But she did not like that. And then she was like, she's okay now. She's embroidering something.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, she was mad, but we talked a lot, and she's up there embroidering now.
I'm like, I'm sorry. But that's what it was. It was a woman and a child was not able to enter a room without being announced.
And then they had a kids' room up there, and they had so after the Lots family had moved away, another person had bought the house and lived. And they had two little boys. They had two twins, a boy and a girl that died at 4 years old. Just abruptly, like just died.
Yeah.
And they blamed someone had told them they blamed the well being poisoned and stuff. And then some of the Debbie and Connor were there from the expo. I think a couple of other people ended up going upstairs. Caitlin and them went up, and they said they were talking on Phasma Box or whatever, and that some guy that worked there said that he strangled them or suffocated them. Yeah. And then he's the one that said that the poison, he's the one that started a rumor and stuff like that. So I don't know what, but it kind of sounds like something like that would have happened. And Thomas likes his spirits, and he's upset. And when you talk about the twins, he gets kind of emotional with them because
he's like, I don't think we should go any farther with it. We were asking questions.
Well, no, he wasn't talking about it. He was just, I'm talking about that he's upset that they're buried on the ground somewhere.
And no one knows where they are.
And no one knows where their grave is.
And Heidi even said that they don't know. They don't know that they're dead. Don't know. They're just playing. They're with their mom, and they're just playing.
Yeah, they're just playing. They don't even know where they're buried that they do. And Thomas really likes them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But great.
It was, I want to go back and do his battlefield tour. He does a tour, and he said when we were leaving, he's like, I do a battlefield tour. He go day tour. He goes, and I don't hold anything back. He goes, it was gruesome. And I'm like, it's how you're supposed to do it. Can't glamorize a brutal battle.
But but kind of nice to know that we were the last group.
Yeah.
That is going to be able to ghost hunt there.
Yeah.
Because Thomas said he's not doing ghost hunts anymore.
Yeah.
That we were the last group to go in and investigate. Now they'll do the day tours and stuff still, but I don't think he says he's a 68-year-old man.
Yeah.
He's like, man, it takes me 3 days for this paranormal hangover. And he's like, I am so, because me and him were kind of butting heads for 2 weeks and stuff.
Yeah.
And he apologized. He's like, man, I am so sorry. He goes, I quit smoking 2 weeks ago. I'm like,
just now?
I'm like, you're 68 years old. What are you quitting for now? You got here so far. I'm like, why put yourself through misery now? I'm like, so, but yeah, it was great. Shout out to Thomas to the Lots House.
If you're in
take the
Tennessee, do the tour. It is so worth it. And he knows his stuff. He knows his history. So,
yes, he's a battle historian. He he loves, and like he said when he didn't know nothing about ghosts.
No.
Nothing about paranormal. He came there because he likes battles. He's been to Gettysburg and he's been to every battleground there is, he says. There's not a battleground that he hasn't been to. And just his knowledge of infantries and regiments and who was where and what they came from is just so amazing and stuff. And then when he came to the Lots House, then everyone's they were like,
they're ghosts. And he's like, yeah, right.
But then he's like, more and more he saw evidence and stuff that happened to him and stuff that he couldn't explain. And
in his words, I've been proven wrong more than 50 times.
Yeah. So we got some really cool stuff. I didn't have. We'll show it next week.
Yeah, because we're gonna display it and
stuff. I got some really cool. Dimitri got me our pendulum boards are made. They're personal. They're custom made.
We'll show them.
We do have our new hats. Everybody.
Yeah.
Our hats are back in. Our podcast hat. And our normal Haunted Souls Paranormal hat.
And this
we got them back in.
Yeah, this is the one that I'm on the front center.
Yeah, Maddie's on the front.
You get to have a hat with me in front and center.
Yeah.
Come on.
So those are back on and everything. So.
But yeah, we'll show everything that was in it because we're gonna have shelves. We're gonna have stuff on our shelves and.
Yeah, we have boxes of stuff down here to take with us.
Yeah, we'll do that all, and I am super excited for the podcast studio and.
Is there any questions?
It's gonna be real fun.
Anybody say anything? No.
Hold on, give me a moment, and I will.
Yeah, one job.
Okay, we were just talking.
I'll just give you trouble.
Jesse said, "Yeah, food." Carrie said, "Fun. I'll try to come help Saturday." Yeah. Susan said, 5 feet 5 inches and 3 shelves. Casket was on a stand. Oh, so it stands 5 feet 5 inches.
5 feet 5 inches. Do we get the stand too?
5 feet. That's taller than me.
5 feet 5 inches.
Yeah, I'm 5'1".
I'll find a box to set it on though, so it sits up higher.
But yeah.
She said 3 shelves.
Yes, 3 shelves. So but yeah.
Yeah, I get a casket. I get a casket shelf. So
and I'm getting a white one.
She's getting a white one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let me know. Everybody let me know. Send me a text message.
If you want to come out.
We have a new, we just added a new event to the thing, Ray County Museum in Richmond.
Yes.
Everybody come out. Tickets are on sale. Help out the lady. Majority of the money is going to the lady that runs the museum to help her out. So she's giving us this building to make up for the whole Excelsior Springs debacle that we had in March about having to cancel that event. So everybody that didn't get a refund is actually going to this event and everything. And then we are selling tickets. We're going to have some other Pete's. Brandy and Isabel will be there. They're buying her tickets.
Yay.
So you get to hang out with Isabel and them.
Yay.
Hopefully my beard oil line will be in line on that one. I think Heidi and Christopher are coming down, so they'll be there. Gina and Lauren are coming, I believe. So
yeah, it'll be fun.
Come on out
and even if, and I will say this,
it's a great place.
Even if you don't investigate or if you don't really get anything, just the museum itself, every room has a theme, and it is just amazing to see.
You'll get something. I'll tell you right now.
You'll get something. But even if the museum's amazing. So
yeah, I mean, every room in this place. It used to be an old poor farm, and it's a Y-shaped, so it goes down, and then there's a wing that goes this way and this way, and there's like 3 or 4 floors in the basement. It's got its own jail, since it was a poor farm, and if anybody got like rowdy or anything, there is a jail. I think it's like 2 or 3 cells, down in the basement, and it's just amazing. Like all the people that took their time in putting in like donating stuff. So like the World War II room is nothing but donations that people have given, that people had owned, their stuff.
Yeah.
Or their, oh God, everything you can think of. Quilting room, a doll room, toys, kitchen is
I will not be going in one of those rooms. And I think we all know
there's an Iraqi, they raided a airplane area of Iraqi, and they got all kinds of stuff from the Middle East, the Gulf War, and stuff like that. It's really cool, the stuff. There's an Native American room that's got nothing but Native American artifacts and arrowheads and stuff. It's just all kinds of stuff. It's a really good place to come out and spend the night with us and everything like that. I don't know why, but if you want to see us, where are we going to be at June 1st and 2nd?
Strawberry Festival.
Yes, come out to Kimmswick.
Kimmswick.
The Strawberry Festival in Kimmswick, June 1st
Kenny
and
Brown.
2nd. Come out and see Kenny Brown. I'm really upset. Kenny Brown hasn't been on in 3 weeks.
We're going to have a talk with him.
Yeah, I'm going to have a talk with Mr. Kenny Brown. Bowling's over, and all of a sudden now he's not on.
What the heck, Kenny?
Yeah. So Kimmswick Strawberry Festival, June 1st and 2nd. Come on out, see our new stuff.
Yeah. See us. Another also more than enough amazing vendors and cool things there too.
There's like 50,000 people that come through that event. Yeah.
There's some really cool people who do a lot of homemade stuff there too. So
yeah. So June 1st and 2nd, Kimmswick Strawberry Festival.
Yeah.
Then June 21st and 22nd is come see us out at Troy Taylor's Paracon.
Yeah.
I think there's still tickets available.
I'll be there.
He's got it for Friday night and Saturday.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of guests that are going to be speaking and everything. We'll be there. And then Ray County is the 29th.
Yeah.
And stuff. That will be our last event until August. Is that not crazy?
It's crazy. But then from August to October, we're packed.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Access in Kansas. We have Glore. We have Randolph County Insane Asylum.
We have our West Virginia trip.
We have our West Virginia trip. We
MSP.
have Missouri State Penitentiary. Woo woo! Tickets still on sale. Come on, everybody, get those tickets for that one. That's a big one.
Yeah.
And then Melvin Manor, and then we go to all of our stuff.
Yeah. So we might say, then we don't have anything till August, but once August hits, we're like, oh. We're like, thank God for that break.
Well, July, all we have is the Paragoal.
Yeah, which is
and you gotta check us out next week. We are going to add a couple new segments into the podcast.
Yeah, some fun ones.
Some fun little segment we're gonna add into the podcast. So you have to check it out next week. We're gonna do it this week, but May's like, let's save everything for next week.
Yeah,
it's all gonna be new.
So make sure that people like podcasts and everything. Check out definitely next week, and
send us your shirts. We'll wear them.
Yeah, send us the shirts and we'll wear them. We'll wear them on podcasts. And
I never thought I would wear a shirt with a cat on it.
Yeah, well, now we will. But yeah, no, thank you for everybody.
Yes, thank you for Jeri for coming on this week and everything. Thanks for everybody for watching.
Yeah,
like you said, let me know this weekend if you want to come down, hang out, investigate. Help us put some studio together and everything.
If not,
and we'll have a fun evening.
Yeah.
And stuff. And check us out next week. We'll be at our new location. Yeah. New little things to do on it.
Oh, say goodbye to this.
Yes. Goodbye to the little room.
Yes.
No more. We won't see the little room
spaced
out
and
say
bye. Say goodbye to. Say goodbye to one screen.
I'll be blowing out the candle on it.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Yeah, I did. I bet you. All right.
Goodbye to one screen. You won't see us both on the same screen no more.
Yeah. Thank gosh.
I'm going to smell you.
All right.
Thanks,
well,
everybody.
with that.